KL Singapore HSR high-speed rail project is off. Full report on MH370 to be published openly and transparently. Good afternoon. Happy Wesak Day to all those who are celebrating. You're watching News on 2. I'm Jessica Lee. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad confirmed in a press conference yesterday that Malaysia will drop the Kuala Lumpur-Singapore High-Speed Rail Project, or HSR, saying that the project will not benefit the country. Nonetheless, the cancellation will take time due to an agreement with Singapore.
It is the final decision, but it will take time because we have an agreement with Singapore. I'm told it is almost 500 million. 500 million? 500 million ringgit. $6 or US? I've yet to verify that.
Tun Dr. Mahathir also said that Malaysia will discuss the matter with Singapore. The Prime Minister had earlier described the move as necessary to avoid being declared bankrupt. Meanwhile, Singapore's Ministry of Transport said it has not received any official notification from Malaysia regarding the dropping of the HSR project. In 2016, both countries signed a pact to build the HSR, which will shorten travelling time between Singapore and KL to just 90 minutes. The project was targeted to be completed by 2026. In January this year, Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong said that the HSR deal was a binding agreement. Now, the full report on missing flight MH370 will be disclosed to the public in full details without edits once Cabinet has been consulted. According to Transport Minister Anthony Loke, the report is already at its last phase. Ocean Infinity, a US-based underwater exploration company, is expected to submit the full report to the government in the very near future as the search for the aircraft ends today. It began the mission to find flight MH370 in January and aimed to complete it in 90 days based on no-cure, no-fee agreement. As mentioned before, Loke said any reports involving people will be revealed openly and nothing will be kept hidden. The minister added that previously only the interim reports were given since the aircraft's disappearance on March 8, 2014. Now, police are in the midst of tracking down 4 more suspects to facilitate investigations into the murder of a man whose body was found in front of a fast food outlet in Taman Melati on May 21st. According to Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Datuk Sri Mazlan Nazim, a total of 19 people aged between 17 and 28 are currently under police custody to shed some light on the killing. Initial investigations have revealed the victim was killed during a clash between 2 groups of Mat Rempit from Pantai Dalam and Kampung Pandan and Wangsa Maju about 4 a.m.
Di mana kumpulan daripada Pantai Dalam ni telah serempak dengan satu orang ni, si mati ni, sedang tolak motor. Sebab kunci dia orang lain ambil, dia sedang tolak motor. Masa dia tolak motor di depan restoran McDonald di Taman Melati itu, mereka 7 orang terus pukul dengan menggunakan fork lock dan juga helmet. Dia pukul dan menyebabkan berlaku hemorrhage, iaitu pendarahan di kepala.
Datuk Mazlan spoke after witnessing a handing over of duty ceremony involving the post of Cheras Police Chief yesterday. Cheras Police Deputy Chief Superintendent Kamal Khan Muhammad Sharif will take over as Acting District Police Chief, replacing SAC Abdul Ghani Muhammad G, who assumes the post of Commander of the General Operations Force Central Brigade in Cheras. Kelantan Parti Amanah Negara, or Amanah, has lodged a report with the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, against a construction company which was awarded a project in Machang by I Kelantan Sdn Bhd, or AKSB. Now, the report was lodged by State Amanah Youth Mobilisation Director Muhammad Afiq Ayub at the State MACC office. Muhammad Afiq was accompanied by several Amanah members and its lawyer, Muhammad Rizwan Muhammad. Speaking to reporters, Muhammad Afiq said that they had urged the MACC to investigate the company known as Sida Construction Centre in Berhad, which was given the tender on January 22nd, 2015. Muhammad Afiq added that the project comprises design and construction works for a water supply project in Merbau Condong, Machang, which is ongoing. Meanwhile, lawyer Muhammad Rizwan said that the state government, through its legal office, has sent a letter to AKSB warning them about the matter, but so far, no action has been taken. He said there was something wrong with the awarding of the tender and had asked the MACC to investigate it properly. Meanwhile, Amanah has set up a special committee to monitor candidates and personalities proposed by the party to sit on the board of directors in government agencies and institutions. Party Deputy President Salahuddin Ayub said the committee would study and monitor candidates comprising politicians and also professionals, non-governmental agencies and qualified activists and experts in their respective fields who are trustworthy. Salahuddin, who is also Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry Minister, said Amanah wants to ensure that those appointed are truly committed and professional instead of using their appointment to promote their personal interests.
Ini penting bagi saya supaya kita tidak menjadikan tempat-tempat ini sebagai suatu lubuk ataupun tempat untuk mencari kepentingan peribadi. Dan ini akan menghalang maksud kita untuk memastikan segala pelaksanaan dasar kementerian-kementerian yang diberikan tanggungjawab pada kami ini gagal dan mengulangi kesilapan yang sama.
He said this after receiving the note on the transfer of duty from former Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Sharbri Cheek yesterday. A 47-year-old man from Kapit, Sarawak, who had returned from the Democratic Republic of Congo a month ago, is believed to have contracted a dangerous virus. But Sarawak Health Director Dr. Jamila Hashim has confirmed it is not Ebola. Photos and video clip of the man in a hysterical state at about 3:30 p.m. on Sunday at a supermarket had gone viral. Following that, people believed that they should not go to the supermarket as they feared that the man had contracted Ebola. According to Dr. Jamila, the place where the man is working is not an Ebola epidemic area. However, he is reported to be still unconscious at the hospital and is on a respirator. The hospital is working around the clock to determine the cause of his illness. Meanwhile, Dr. Jamila advised those who are down with the illness after coming back from any African countries to undergo immediate medical observation and treatment. In a separate development, the Sarawak government has declared the Kampung Selarat Sematan in Lundu district as a new rabies-infected area. It is the 31st area declared as being rabies epidemic area in the state. According to the Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee, the new area was declared so as the village is located outside a 10-kilometre radius area which had been declared as being rabies-infected area previously. Sarawak Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Ahmad Douglas Uga Embas is the chairman of the committee set up in the middle of last year to tackle the outbreak of disease infection in Sarawak. To date, rabies had caused 8 deaths in Sarawak. Traders warned to obey the zero GST rate or face stern action. Details coming up. Now, the government will pay a bonus to the 1.6 million civil servants in conjunction with Hari Raya Aidilfitri soon. Now, this was confirmed by Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad in a press conference yesterday.
Ya, kita akan bagi bonus. Banyak mana tak tahu lagi lah.
In the 2018 budget, the previous government under the Barisan Nasional leadership announced a special aid of 1,500 ringgit for the 1.6 million civil servants. A sum of 1,000 ringgit had been paid out in January, while the balance was scheduled to be paid before Hari Raya. Tun Dr. Mahathir had earlier chaired the Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia or PPBM Supreme Council meeting that lasted about 3 hours at its headquarters at Menara Yayasan Selangor in Petaling Jaya. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has reminded Malaysians to practice tolerance to maintain the multiracial harmony in the country. In his Wesak Day message, he said the people of Malaysia come from a background of various ethnicities, language, religion and culture, and are all accustomed to celebrating religious festivities together. The diversity remains special to Malaysia, where it is actually the manifestation of freedom of religion practiced in the country. Tun Dr. Mahathir, in a release statement, said the freedom enjoyed is not limited to allowing religious practices, but also freedom in language, culture and traditional practices. In Malaysia, the rights of all races, both the majority and the minority, are all preserved and protected under the Constitution and the country's laws. The Prime Minister said on Wesak Day, the people are reminded of the founder of Buddhism, Gautama Buddha, but the real message is the fight to do good to everyone around us. The Domestic Trade, Cooperatives and Consumerism Ministry, or KPDNKK, has warned traders to abide by the 0% Goods and Services Tax, or GST, effective June 1st, or face stern action. Its Enforcement Director, Dato' Muhammad Roslan Mahyudin, said action would be taken against errant traders under the Enforcement of Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 1999 and the Trade Descriptions Act 2011. Dato' Muhammad Roslan said the ministry would work together with the Royal Malaysian Customs Department to ensure traders abide by the regulation.
Pengguna diminta berhati-hatilah dalam perkara ni. Lihat pada resit bahawa resit tersebut adalah ternyata zero, zero rated, 0%. Bukan lagi dia tulis SR, standard rated 6% dan sebagainya. Kalau masih ada lagi itu, boleh laporkan kepada pihak berkuasa.
Briefing reporters yesterday, he added that since last week, the ministry had mobilized its staff throughout the country to monitor and collect data on the price of goods with the 6% GST to be compared to the price with 0% GST on June 1st. On the festive season price control scheme during Aidilfitri, Dato' Muhammad Roslan said the ministry would implement it on June 8th. The Sabah government will review all logging concessions in the state to enable action to be taken to address various issues with concession areas. Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Shafie Apdal said the concession areas reviewed including logging areas under forest management units. Datuk Seri Shafie said the review comes following numerous issues such as elephant death cases that may be associated with current concessionaires logging in hotspot areas that also affect water catchment areas and wildlife habitat. On the temporary ban of logs exported outside of the state, Datuk Seri Muhammad Shafie said the logs could only be sold for the domestic market to meet demands such as from furniture factories.
Dan saya yakin kalau kita dapat bangunkan industri downstream berhubungkan dengan kayu-kayan ini, mungkin tidak banyak hasil diperolehi kerajaan negeri, tapi banyak hasil diperolehi oleh rakyat di peringkat akar umbi. Job centering. I want jobs opportunity for Sabahan, not royalty for Sabah. Ya, tidak ada artinya kita kaya dengan duit tapi rakyat kita tidak punya kerja.
Datuk Seri Muhammad Shafie told reporters after attending the Sabah State Cabinet meeting yesterday. Also present were his deputies, Datuk Seri Wilfred Madios Tangau and Christina Liu. Datuk Seri Shafie said the Sabah Forestry Department would brief him next week on the status of the concession areas as well as on sensitive areas and gazetted logging areas that were causing concern. Financial market activities are at very healthy levels on Bursa Malaysia. Employees Provident Fund, or EPF CEO Dato' Syariel Rizza Rizwan said the markets are fine in line with the global and regional markets despite the sharp fall in the KLCI index. Datuk Syariel said the declining market was due to a slowdown in all regional markets because of global political issues.
Markets go up, markets go down all the time. So we always basically remind people basically that you should never look at markets over a short-term period of just a few days. Markets should always be viewed at over a 3 or 5 year cycle because that's the right way to do investments.
He was met by reporters when leaving Menara Ilham after briefing the Council of Eminent Persons yesterday. Asked on the topic of discussions with the Council, Datuk Sharil said the meeting was on the EPF and its plans for its members. The Council wanted to know what else can be done to help EPF members achieve a better future, which is in line with their vision. And that's it from us. In our top story, KL Singapore HSR high-speed rail project is off. We'll be back later at 7 p.m.